Today's Thursday, it's the 8th of June 2023, and we've just caught the bus into Palma. A little bit of shopping to do, a little bit of a look around, see how it goes. We got off the bus in a different sort of area to where we usually get off. And the first thing that strikes me is just some of the wonderful architecture that we do have here in Palma. And I think the balustrade in there is really quite something else, really sort of almost Gaudi-ish. Really interesting. We're actually right next to the legal part here. And good to see that we can still buy newspapers, magazines here in Mallorca. There was talk some months ago now that all of these would be closed down because of the high rent that the local government were asking, and there's just no profit in them. So must have come to some sort of a deal, and now that they're still open. And also this cerveceria, this little beer place, really the iconic part of Palma. We're heading towards CNA and the Ramblas. Ooh, that's tempting, isn't it? A tiny little kitchen, and you can have a beer. What else? Right there. Ice cream. Some renovation work going on across the road there. And that's the building I went into a few weeks ago, which I'm going to take Anita into again. I'll do my research first and we'll be able to tell you a lot more about it. And then CNA, which is actually where we are aiming for at the moment. I need to get some shorts for our trip to Ibiza. It's a little red man, not a little green man. We did notice in London that they were starting to substitute the man for a mixture of men and women, and then just symbols, so that they don't have to say men or women. How ridiculous the UK is becoming in this respect. Anyway, we're going to have a look in CNA and I'll show you if we do come out with anything. Well, unfortunately nothing for me, nothing in my size in CNA, so we're going to have to head off somewhere else, probably to El Corte Inglés. Well, we're just going to make our way up Majorca. This is like a posh shopping street, really, like a Regent Street. But at the top of here we've got El Corte Inglés, and it's a big department store. There's two El Corte Inglés, the one here and then there's another one on the Avenidas close to España. very noisy here with all the traffic. Much of the traffic's actually, noise from the traffic's coming from buses. And one of the things the elections brought is that we're going to get a change of government in Palma and in Mallorca. And so the promises of the previous government are going to be shelved or thrown in the bin. One of those was to build a tram that went from Plaza España to the airport. Everyone got very excited for it. Pretty sure it's fully funded with money from central government. But the new, or what is likely to be the new government, has not been formed yet, has said that they're not sure. And they do like the idea of a tram, but they're going to have a little bit more time to think about it. In the meantime, they want to spend all the money on buying new buses, electric buses.
They are, or they ought to.
That's what they are going to do. That's what they say they're going to do. So instead of spending the millions and millions on a tram, they're going to replace all of the buses that go in Palma with electric buses. Oh, interesting move. See what they end up doing. First of all, they've got to get into power, and they can't do that without the help of other political parties, or at least one other political party. The most likely is Vox. Vox are a far-right political party with some quite outlandish ideas, but they're more similar to the PP, Partido Popular, Conservative Party, than any of the others. And they've got enough votes to put them into power. So what the PP are asking them to do is just abstain on the vote that puts them into power, and then they will have enough votes to go through. That should happen in the next few days or so. In the meantime, we've got a general election coming up in just over a month's time. Having had the shock results, the party that seemed to have lost out in the local elections and is in power in government in Madrid has actually decided to call an early election. Still not quite sure about the reasoning of that, but the end of July, which will be the last Sunday in July, there's going to be a general election in Spain. People will be on holiday. People who would normally vote will be on holiday. It will really be quite an unusual situation to have a vote like this in the summer. So that'll be interesting. We couldn't vote anyway. We don't have the vote in general elections. In fact, we don't have the vote in any elections this time. When Brexit eventually went through, they removed our right to vote and we had to re-register. And unfortunately, we were in the UK when we were supposed to re-register, so we couldn't re-register. So we didn't vote in the elections that have just gone. So we're nearly at the top of Majorca here, which is where El Corte Inglés is. We'll give that a try. If not, we've got to walk to the other end of the city. The amount of noise actually that's coming from the traffic, I'd quite like to have all electric cars in the city.
Anything there? They're all electric.
It really is noisy. So this is it, El Corte Inglés, and we'll go and have a look and see what we can find in here. Well, we found a new place in Palma for us to go. Gem of a place. And we've been here once before and we had a really nice meal, so we've come back and we're going to have a meal just for the two of us. So we've already ordered our drinks, and we're just on the usual really. Anita's on the red wine, and I've got a small beer. Oh, it's a shandy actually. It's a shandy. And it's very good.
Good idea.
Well, we've come to the Via Roma, and this restaurant has a menu of the day. It's in Spanish, it's in English, so this is the English side. You've got a big choice of main courses, and there's a dessert as well. And it comes with bread, a jug of mineral water, and a glass of wine, and the dessert. And it's $14.95. And we've been here before, and it's really good. But that isn't what I have. They also do tapas. So you've got a choice of all of the tapas here. And they do this one, which is called a variat. And the variat is a mixture of things. So I'll get like frito mallorquin, I'll get some pica pica inside here. Well, you'll see when it comes. Look at the price, $7.95. Wow, it's got to be a bargain. Well, this is the variats, and basically it's just a whole load of different tapas, all put together on one plate. And it is exactly my sort of a meal. So I've got a bit of everything. So the frito mallorquin, albondigas or something underneath there, and pica pica, and some meat here. It's really going to be very tasty. I'm really happy with that. $7.95. Well, Anita's gone for the light lunch. I think she's got a little bit more than she expected there. What has it done?
Spare ribs.
Spare ribs. Whoa, whole rack of ribs there. And Anita's menu came with a dessert, which is an ice cream. Very nicely presented. Well, there's the bill. My large beer there was $3.70. Anita's wine was included, and the meal that she had was $14.95. My variat was $7.95, and the two coffees, which were $3.50 for the two. Total €30.10. Now that is an excellent value for an excellent lunch. Well, if you're ever in Palma, we can thoroughly recommend the Aspas Cafe, which is at the bottom end of the Ramblas. Excellent value, wonderful service, and it's an institution that helps people with special needs. So you'll get a different type of service there, always excellent though, and really very pleasant surroundings. So we'll certainly be back, and great to support somewhere like the Aspas Cafe here in the Ramblas, and dotted around elsewhere.
And
Thanks.
I'm really full of.
The portions are big.
They are.
Thanks very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye for now.
Bye.